Good morning and welcome everyone who's here and everyone who may yet come to our day after Christmas Zoom pajama party. I love the way this community loves to laugh and have fun. And a little later, we'll all get a chance to show off our jammies for those who want to. My dear friends, think about it. What a wonder and a mystery that our paths have crossed today. Just those who are here. That in the immensity of time and the vastness of space, we have coincided here this morning. It's such a marvel. The miracle of being here together and the mystery that has brought us here. And I'm just so glad to be here with all of you this morning. Our chalice lighting words are from Maureen Killoran. And if you have a chalice at home and would like to light along with us this morning, you're invited. There we go. For every time we make a mistake, and we decide to start again, we light this chalice. For every time we're lonely and we let someone be our friend, we light this chalice. For every time we're disappointed and we choose to hope, we light this chalice. For every time we're brave and open the door for joy, even a tiny crack, we light this chalice. We open the service with a blessing written by Andre Mall in honor of two Unitarians, Martha and Wait Still Sharp, who during World War II dared to risk their own comfort in order to help save the lives of those in desperate need. As we gather together, may we remember, when you share with me what is most important to you, that is where listening begins. When I show you that I hear you, when I say your life matters, that is where compassion begins. When I open the door to greet you, that is where hospitality begins. When I venture out to bring you shelter, this is where love begins. When I risk my comfort to ease your suffering, when I act against hatred, violence, and injustice, that is where courage begins. When we experience the full presence of each other, because of our shared humanity, because of our differences, that is where holy gratitude begins. May this space be a table that is not complete until all are welcome. May this table be a space of beauty where together we create a series of miracles and where all that we share is sacred. Come, let us worship together.
Joy, thou goddess fair, immortal offspring of Elysium, led with rapture to the portal of thy holy fane we come. Fashion's law indeed may sever, but thy magic joins again. Humankind is one forever, ease thy mild and gentle reign. Joy in nature's wide dominion, mightiest cause of all is found, and 'tis joy that moves and pinions when the wheel of time goes round. From the bud she lures the flowers, so from all the orbs of light, 'tis God's spirit obey the power, far beyond the mortal sight.
Our story this morning is a Hindu creation story. The source is unknown. When humans had begun to thrive in the world, the gods became concerned that they had perhaps made these creatures a bit too resilient. The humans were creating language, building villages, hunting and gathering for their food. They were not needing the gods as much as they once had. So the gods gathered to contemplate this problem and debated where to hide the secret of life. One minor god argued for the deepest abyss in the ocean, another for the highest peak on the highest snow-covered mountain. A more experienced god said, no, they will find that. Hide it on the far side of the moon. The supreme god listened to all of this advice, recognizing that the gods were becoming afraid of human intelligence and drive. No, he said, I will hide it where these resourceful creatures will never look. Where? Clamored all the lesser gods. I will hide the secret to human happiness within the human heart. It is the last place they will ever look. And all of the gods nodded, and it was so. And it is so. I have a reading this morning. It's titled Joy. It's by Terry Pahaki. I have been wondering what the morning glories know. Is it envy that compels these vines to strangle other flowers arising in their path? Or perhaps self-preservation to climb these walls, forsaking humbler beings, winding greedy stems around the trellis in their hungry pursuit of light? Still, every morning, basking in their spiral shadows, I want to believe it is something more. This fevered yearning to open purple flowers, yield bold-throated glorias to the sun, and in the blaze of afternoon, curl petals softly into shyness. And every morning I plead with the dew-moist buds to know their secret joy, to open and close without holding, to surrender all to light, to sing, I am completely yours, over and over again. Our anthem this morning is the Keep Going On song.
This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. I am Abigail, and this is Sean, and we're so glad that you've turned this on and welcomed us into your home, and you are welcome into our home. We're in Dayton, Ohio. We're in Sean's parents' house.
My parents' house.
Sean's parents' house. We were in Louisville when the shit hit, and we packed our 3-year-old into a car. We drove kind of far. We drove here, and we've been so lucky and blessed to be safely here. And we thought we'd be here for like 10 days, tops.
What did we know?
What did we know?
What
What did we know? We thought we knew a lot. We thought we knew a lot. Woo! Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. And we've been mostly healthy. We've been okay. Are you okay? Are you all right? Are you okay? Are you all right? Are you okay? I hope your body is whole tonight. And if your heart is breaking, I hope it's breaking open. And if your breath is shaking, I hope it's shaking through. And then I hope that you've watched a lot of really great television, like a lot of it. And I hope that you find a hand lotion that actually makes your skin feel better. And I hope that you have enough to eat. I hope you're getting enough sleep, and I hope you have enough good company or enough good memory to last you a long time. Keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. We sing the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. Let's bring some joy into the room, why not? We can try it, or some rage, and some grief and relief. Ooh, I hope my rage, I pray my rage is a fire that cleans my mind out and makes me ready to listen. I pray my pain is a river that flows to the ocean that connects my pain to yours. And I pray my happiness is like pollen that flies to you and pollinates your joy. Oh boy, is that possible? I don't know. We are making this up as we go. We have to make it up as we go. The keep going song, the keep going song. Oh, we're making it up. We're making it up as we go. Keep going on. Keep going on song. And I pray that when we meet again, that the world has changed into the world that we are imagining now together. And I pray that the world has become the world that we're planting inside of ourselves for each other and for our ancestors and for our kids. Ooh, and we're gonna start. This is a rough beginning. That's all I've got is a rough beginning to offer you. We're gonna start by singing some songs in this tiny space together. We're just gonna sing some songs for you, and we hope that when you hear them, you will feel a little bit less alone, and we will feel a little bit less alone in the work and in the hurt, and we will be together tonight somehow, whenever this is, wherever this is. We will be together tonight. for the going on, keep going on song. This is a keep going on, keep going on song. This is a keep going on, keep going on song. This is
Now it is time for our joy stories. And so I am going to, these stories, we will be recording as we tell these stories. So just be mindful of that as you tell. And I will start off. I found a little piece of joy this holiday season in the idea that we were going to have this pajama party. And I did something that I had been wanting to do for a long time and had just not done, and went out and bought myself some new jammies. And it really did lift my spirits. Dennis, you have a story to share, and then you can call on anyone who wants to share their joy stories.
Thank you.
They can be
Yes.
longer. They can be longer than mine too. It's okay.
Yes. So Friday, I was sitting on the couch at a time when I was alone in the house Friday afternoon, just listening to an audiobook and petting Loki on one side and Corwin on the other, both of them snoozing right nearby. And several of my most joyful memories throughout my life involve cats. I've had cats for decades of life. I remember when we lived in Medford, we had an apartment that was part of a quadplex, and it was one great long hallway with all the rooms off one side of it. And we had two cats, Hennessy and RJ. Hennessy was a Siamese, and one of their breed traits is that they will fetch. And RJ would also fetch. So we had this long hallway, and I would stand in the kitchen with this gun that looked like a flying saucer and shot foam discs. And it would launch them great distances like little frisbees. And the cats loved, like if the foam disc hit them, it's like Nerf, it's nothing. Nobody could get injured. And the cats would just grab these foam discs out of the air or come bring them to us. Just a joy of this long hallway of them fetching discs and putting them at your feet and going and catching the next ones. And I have so many joyful memories of cats. One of my earliest memories is of a cat, her Siamese, her name was Tinkerbell. And Tinker was older than I was. She was one of my parents, she surely felt, as soon as I was in the world. And there was a day that my brother and sister and I were getting breakfast, and my younger sister was really upset because I don't know if you can believe the horror of this, but my older brother opened the cereal box when she wanted to open the cereal box. And she crumpled on the floor, sitting on the floor with her arms around her knees, just bawling her eyes out. And Tinker approached slowly and carefully and did that trick that cats do of just the front half of their bodies levitate with only their back feet on the floor. And Tinker put her paws gently and tenderly onto Deb's knees. And she's looking in Deborah's face, and she's just bawling and sobbing and wailing her grief. And Tinker ever so gently moved in closer and closer and bit her on the nose. And that's when she changed her crying to laughing and the day could begin. Um, it was, it's one of my joyful memories of my cats. Have we anyone else who would like to share a joy spotting story? Oh, that's right. We've got Lynda Clark. Um, uh, am I remembering correctly, Lynda Clark? You had the joy sign story.
Well, yeah, so there are just so many different facets to the story. I don't know which one you want to hear about. But let's just say when we were talking about joy spotting, I've had kind of a hard year, so I had to kind of look for joy, you know. I am feeling a great sense of relief that, you know, my cancer treatment is on the easy side now, and my parents are safe in assisted living, even though I don't feel comfortable talking to them on the phone. But I'm so much happier than I was a month ago. But it's not exactly joy. So I decided that I had to create some joy. And I remember that last year when we made the hope sign, because my mom was sick, that it was an inspiration, a brainstorm, so to speak, that we created that sign, and how much joy and hope that it gave other people. So that's when I had my brainstorm this year. And I said to my friend, Pete, can you help me do something? And he didn't leave the room yet again. So he went down to the basement and he got the pieces of wood, and I had one tube light that was just the right length, and we created our joy sign, which is, you know, was in the perspective and in our notices. And it looks much better at night because we didn't paint the wood and make a beautiful joy word for the daytime. It really only shines at night, and it's beautiful. Pete and I were on our almost daily walk. Well, Pete goes every day, but I don't. And we were coming up the hill, and it's a long hill, so I usually like to pause a little bit, but I'm trying to not pause. I need to get my full exercise, just push all the way up the hill. But a car slowed down beside us. So they rolled down the window, and it was our neighbor from across the street, Lynn. And she said, I love your joy sign. I love it so much. She was ecstatic. So that's when I knew that my little joy made a big one. And that's the way joy is best, when it's shared.
Thank you, Lynda.
Thank you, Linda. Have we others who would like to raise hand or click the raise hand button? Pam, you have to unmute yourself. Oh, you're doing that.
Yeah, I'm on it, Dennis. Well, you know, I knew this service was coming, so I've been keeping my eye out, joy spotting this month. And one thing that really impressed me is I have a group of friends, and we've gotten together every year, you know, at Christmas time for a funny Yankee swap. We've known each other since our kids were infants, and now our oldest are in their freshman year of college. But one of our friends, Rebecca, she has some serious health issues. So it's not real safe for her to get together with all of us, especially since we have kids coming home from college. We still have kids in high school, but we didn't want to get together without her and exclude her. So everybody was willing to make it safe for her. Most of us tested for COVID before we got together, and all of the college kids did. And even though it was cold, we bundled up and got together outside, masked, and made a big bonfire, and we had soup in a crock pot, and we did our funny Yankee swap, and we got to spend time together. And Rebecca was really pleased because she's not able to go out very much because it's not safe for her. So I was glad that everybody was willing, to be a little bit less comfortable and be outside so that Rebecca could be included.
Nice.
Thank you. Has anyone else done some joy spotting and would like to share a joy with us? It looks like no one else is sharing.
Okay, well, we're going to pause and take an offering. All of our December offerings, except for the Christmas Eve one, go to CASA of Middlesex. Please give generously as you're able. Of course, donation information is in the chat. And while the offertory is playing, if you think of another joy to share, we'll have round 2 and some pajama sharing after the offertory. Before we go into round 2, I want to make sure that technical difficulties don't make it so that Stephanie doesn't get to share her joy or sorrow this morning. So Stephanie, would you still like to share that, what you were going to share this morning?
Yes, and I'm very sorry that my tablet decided to do all of its updates right at that point in time. But these things happen. I was sharing a joy that I am so very grateful and so happy at all the wonderful friends I've had throughout the whole year, and within and without, outside of First Parish. With all the discomfort that the pandemic has brought us, it has also brought a lot of connection that might not have happened otherwise. And that's my joy there in a nutshell.
Thank you. And I noticed that Heather put a couple of things into the chat. Which ones are you looking, what did you put the links to, Heather?
I put the link if you wanted to look at the YouTube video or show it to other people. And actually the song, I guess, is on Spotify. So it's the link if you want to like add it to your Spotify.
For which song?
Oh, sorry, the duo, the Keep Going On song.
Oh, the Keep Going On song. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool. I just signed up for Spotify, so after the service, I will.
And it looked like Caroline McDonald would like to share a joy.
Okay, so I did spot joy this year. on my annual Christmas trip to Ocean State Job Lot. And every year we had Ocean State Job Lot presents, which just tickled me, and it tickled my sense of humor and all sorts of other things. So this year, all by its lonely self on the shelf, I saw this tremendous bargain. Can you read that?
Joy
Oh,
3 times, yes.
And I couldn't, $3. Could you believe that? So I'm not as clever as Lynda, or as persistent at doing craft objects. So I honored this little bit of joy and brought it into my house this year.
Thank
And I
you.
want to say that keeping on song is the best thing I've heard this season. And I want to say one more thing, Lynda Clark. Lynda, all last winter in the dark, I kept thinking of that light being lit. And that got me through a lot. And just wanted to say that it was good to have a little bit of hope. And I knew right where it was. So thank you. And I'm all set.
Thank you, Caroline. Have we others who have done some joy spotting? Renee would like to share a joy story with us.
Okay. So recently, I was involved in helping Ann Morrissey move and clean her apartment that she was leaving. And as much work as it was, it brought me great joy. It was wonderful to be able to work with other people as a team, and to just see Anne so much happier in her new location. So that brought me a lot of joy.
Thank you for sharing that, Renee. I'm looking for hands or yes in the chat or the raise hand button for Reverend Lynda.
yes, I received several presents this year. Not a lot, which is great. I don't need a lot more stuff, but I got some things that were homemade and so obviously made with love. Some lovely biscotti that Andrew baked, and a poem with a darling note in it, and some cookies from my daughter. I reminds me of the joy of just little things that show that someone's been thinking of you.
Thank you. Has anyone else a joy story of joy? They've done their joy spotting and spotted some joy. It looks like no one else is sharing.
All right. Now, if you want to show off your new jammies, raise your hand. And Dennis, can you spotlight people so that they can show their jammies? And would you show yours first? I love them.
Spotlighting myself. So these jammies are based on the champion tunic that Link wears in Breath of the Wild. There's also, I have other Link jammies, another set that's in green. So when we were requested to wear blue today, I was very glad that I did. Blue and green were the two colors I could cover for wearing jammies to the jammy party. Anyone else who would like to raise a hand and show or tell about the jammies that they're wearing? Reverend Linda.
Right? I already talked about going and getting these jammies, but I didn't mention that this is the first time I've been to Kohl's for a couple of years. And it was like going to Disneyland. Like, wow, all this stuff. And I just took my time and I found they were pretty well picked over, you know, but I found this lovely pair walking in a winter wonderland, and it's got like plaid pants. Can't you show them? The background interferes with showing things. Anyway, and they're so soft. They feel like butter. So that's my joy, my pajamas.
I have a joy that your pajamas remind me of one of my very favorite pictures for this time of year. It's a screen capture from the movie Sleepy Hollow, where Christopher Walken, with an axe in each hand and a fearsome face on. He's a character who's back. He's the headless horseman, but he's got a fearsome face on, and he's trudging through the snow. And the caption below it says "Walkin' in a winter wonderland." Would anyone else like to share their jammies? Tell us about their jammies, or we could take a moment to go to gallery view if you know how to do it, to see everyone in gallery view. Yeah, no one is spotlit right now, so you could go to gallery view and just see us all maybe do a Brady Bunch wave like we used to. It looks
So
like no one
I want
else.
to I want to share that
go
my
ahead.
jammies are not special, but it was a Christmas present a couple of years ago, you know, the fluffy robe.
Oh,
The sleeves are too long. So even if I roll them up, I can't do any work if I'm wearing this robe.
I'll do the
I
dishes.
can't do dishes. I can't do anything because the sleeves get wet. So this is the do nothing bathrobe.
And I have to show off my stuffed wolf. His pajamas are sheep. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. So we have to make sure the wolf doesn't get near any of the other stuffed animals. It's very dangerous.
Except Lammy. They're kind of kindred, you know.
I love it. All right, last chance. Any other jammy bragging that want to go on here? It has been such a joy to be together this morning with 16 people who felt it important to get together on the day after Christmas, before even playing with their toys. Here we are together. I'm in awe of the many ways our lives are intertwined, and at the beauty that we create when we're here together. And so I leave you with this. In the coming year, may our coming together make us more alive, more compassionate, more just, more caring, more loving, more filled with joy. May our hearts and minds be open to this joy now and in the days to come. May it be so. Go in joy, go in peace.